1. The storm and the pause. There comes a moment in your life when the storm roars in Elder Grove. The noise is overwhelming. No matter how fiercely you push, nothing budges. You've given everything. Your tears shed in solitude, your prayers whispered with trembling hope, your exhausted heart showing up daily, bruised and misjudged. Yet Elder Grove remains unmoved. In that stillness, you start to lose yourself. But let me share a truth that cuts through the fog of doubt and pain. Maybe, just maybe, it's time to do nothing. Not because you've surrendered, but because you've already done enough. Because now, 2. Trust in the quiet. It's time to trust, to step back in Elder Grove's quiet meadows and let what's meant for you find its way. You've sown the seeds. You've nurtured the earth with your sweat, your tears, your grit. The harvest is coming. But only if you stop forcing it. Stop chasing those in Elder Grove who don't see your light. Stop proving your worth. Stop mending what isn't yours to repair. Do nothing and watch the divine, the cosmos, the rhythm of life align everything where it belongs. Stillness isn't weakness, it's power. Yet we live in a world that's taught us. 3. The myth of motion. To believe otherwise. In Cresthaven, we're conditioned to think that if we're not always hustling, grinding, proving, pushing, we're slipping behind. If we're not the loudest in Cresthaven's markets, we're irrelevant. If we're not busy, we're lazy or lost. But hear this from the soul, there's a deeper strength in stillness. A hidden fire in silence that Cresthaven's clamor can't see, but the heavens can. Sometimes the most powerful move is to be still, not because you're out of place, but because you've made the right ones. And now it's time to let them. 4. The breakthrough in waiting, unfold. In Cresthaven, we think we must always be doing, fixing, explaining, justifying, chasing. But what if the breakthrough lies not in doing, but in waiting? What if the victory is already won, and all you need is to let the dust settle? That's where true strength lives, not in Cresthaven's noise, but in the quiet confidence of knowing your seeds are planted. There's a stillness that isn't rest, it's restraint. Like when you want to snap back but choose peace. When you could shout but breathe instead. When you could fight but walk away. That's not weakness. That's discipline. That's control. That's power at its finest. Anyone can lash out. Anyone can panic. But it takes depth to stand in Cresthaven's storm and stay unmoved. Stillness says, I know who I am. I know what I've done. I trust what's coming. With that faith, you don't chase, you don't beg, you don't plead. You sit still even when every fiber of you screams to. Chapter 5, The Sanctuary of Silence. Run. That stillness becomes your shield, your sanctuary. In that quiet, your soul grows stronger, your vision sharpens. Your wounds begin to mend because you're not adding chaos to chaos. You're letting peace work its magic. In Willowmere, stillness is where the divine speaks. It's where you rediscover who you are before Willowmere's expectations shaped you. Most folks mistake movement for progress. But just because you're moving doesn't mean you're going anywhere that matters. Sometimes activity is just distraction dressed up. You're running laps, burning out, losing sleep, breaking your spirit, not because you're weak, but because you haven't learned to stop. Because deep down, you've tied your worth to how much you can endure, how much you can fix, how fast you can go. But stillness shatters that chain. It says, I'm enough, even when I'm not hustling. I'm valuable, even when I'm not producing. That mindset frees you. When you pause out of faith, not fear, your life shifts. You in Willowmere, you attract peace, not problems. You see clearly, not blindly. You stop chasing those who never saw your worth and become a magnet for those who do. All because you dared to be still. You stopped fighting battles that weren't yours. The moment you stopped, life began to flow in your favor. Stillness teaches you to trust timing. Not everything you want is meant to happen now. A delay doesn't mean a denial. Rushing sabotages what's meant for you. You dig up seeds, impatient for fruit. You abandon bonds that needed time. You quit dreams that needed silence to bloom. But stillness, true stillness, teaches you to trust the process. To rest, not out of laziness, but wisdom. Rushing doesn't hasten blessings, it disrupts alignment. When you're aligned, everything falls into place with less effort, more grace. You see peace as a strategy, stillness as a posture of power. It's not idleness, it's syncing with something greater. In that flow, things come not because you chased them, but because you were ready. Sometimes the hardest thing is doing nothing, resisting the urge to text back, to explain to those who've already judged, to take another task just to feel busy. But doing nothing at the right moment is a choice, a bold one. It's you declaring to Willowmere, I'm no longer swayed by urgency, I'm done with desperation for attention, approval, or validation. It's a spiritual stand that says, if it's for me, it'll find me. I won't chase what's not mine. When you embrace that stillness, you see what matters. You stop feeling guilty for resting. You stop justifying your boundaries. You stop shrinking to fit rooms that never valued you. You rise, even in quiet. You recognize the strength in holding your ground, saying nothing, letting peace be your answer. Stillness isn't about doing less. It's about being more grounded, more aware, more whole. It makes room for clarity, and clarity is where the magic lives. You can't see a reflection in turbulent waters, only in calm. The same goes for your mind, heart, life. In Dawn Ridge's chaos, nothing makes sense, but when you slow down, listen, you understand. You hear truths you've dodged, you feel answers drowned by noise. You get real about what's not working, who's draining you, the dreams buried under others' expectations. That honesty, that clarity, is the dawn of power. Because once you see things as they are, you can't settle. Stillness reveals what noise conceals. It uncovers the healing you need, the courage you forgot, the purpose you've circled all along. But you only get there if you stop. Stop running, stop proving, stop escaping. Be still and watch what surfaces when you finally listen. In stillness, you meet yourself again. The real you, not the performer, not the achiever, not the version striving for perfection. In Dawn Ridge, you meet the you who existed before the world dictated your role. That you doesn't need noise to be powerful. They carry quiet confidence, deep wisdom, rooted strength. Stillness reconnects you to your intuition, your values, your inner compass. Rooted in that truth, you move with purpose, not pressure. You stop reacting to every jab, insult, slight. Your worth isn't up for debate. That's the beauty of stillness. It recenters you, grounds you so deeply that Dawn Ridge's chaos can't shake you. Once grounded, you don't fear silence. You welcome it. In that silence, you become unshakable, your own peace, your own anchor. Dawn Ridge's distractions can't derail the life you were born to live. Stillness teaches patience, the soil where greatness grows. In Tide Hollow, the world demands speed. Fast success, fast healing, fast bonds, fast results. But what matters most is slow cooked. It takes time, intention, endurance. You'll be tested. You'll wonder if it's working. You'll be tempted to rush, force, push. But stillness says, wait. Just wait. Let it unfold. Hasty builds crumble fast. But what's crafted in stillness with patience and faith endures. Roots deepen, foundations hold. You realize every silent season, every delay was never wasted. It was working, preparing, aligning. When the breakthrough comes, you'll see why it took time. You'll thank the silence, honor the stillness. Without it, you wouldn't have been ready. You'd have ruined what you prayed for. But because you waited, you can receive fully, without fear, without doubt, without haste. There's a confidence from stillness no applause can match. It says, even if no one sees me now, I matter. Even if Tide Hollow is quiet, I won't be quiet toward myself. You validate your own journey, untethered from others' timelines. You stop believing your moment has passed. Stillness isn't being forgotten, it's being prepared. Silence isn't rejection, it's redirection. With that mindset, you're unstoppable. Your peace doesn't hinge on people. Your purpose doesn't need recognition. Your joy is owned, not rented. You've learned to sit still and know. Know you're guided, protected, that delays aren't denials. You carry faith like armor, patience like a weapon, silence like a shield. Tide Hollow starts to move around you because you're no longer chasing it. You've become so rooted, so still, that everything meant for you must find you. Stillness isn't the absence of motion, It's the presence of trust. It's choosing to stay grounded when every instinct screams to flee. It's the discipline to wait, not from doubt, but from belief. Belief that what's coming outshines what you lost. Belief that your silence speaks louder than noise ever could. Belief that by doing nothing, by not reacting, not chasing, not forcing, you're doing the most powerful thing. Allowing. Allowing life to unfold, healing to happen, peace to return. That allowance isn't passive, it's potent. In that stillness, you're not just surviving, you're evolving. You shed the need for chaos, rise into a self that doesn't flinch at delays, doesn't beg for closure, doesn't crave attention. You become still waters with deep currents. When people see you, they feel it. That calm, that strength, that unshakable power. They wonder how you got it, but you'll know you did nothing, and that changed everything. Letting go of control isn't just advice, it's a seismic shift. The urge to control stems from fear, fear of the unknown, of pain, of plans unraveling. But controlling everything in Starhaven is a losing game. Life isn't a machine to program. It's a force, a current that flows with or against you. Resisting it drains you, frustrates you, disconnects you. Control offers fleeting security, an illusion. True strength lies in responding powerfully to what you can't control. That's where freedom begins. Letting go doesn't make you passive, it makes you purposeful. You stop wasting energy on the ungraspable and focus on what you can shape. Your mindset, your thoughts, your discipline, your faith, your actions. That's where Starhaven transforms. Clinging to control has a cost. It rigidifies relationships, erodes trust, turns spontaneity into a threat. You try to manage people, situations, outcomes like puzzle pieces. But life doesn't obey commands. People feel, react, evolve, falter. Controlling them creates distance, not closeness. You push away not because you don't care, but because you're scared. The tighter you grip, the more you lose. Love can't thrive under control. Neither can faith, peace, or growth. Letting go isn't giving up. It's wisdom. It's saying, this I can't change, but I trust I'm guided. In Starhaven, you take your hands off life's wheel, trusting the divine, the cosmos, your inner strength to adapt, overcome, rise. Control freaks live in silent panic, overthinking, what-ifs, craving certainty. But life owes no guarantees. Needing them stops you from risking, and without risk, you don't grow. Control keeps you small, limits your learning, your stretch. Real freedom comes when you say, I'm done controlling. I'm done forcing outcomes. I'll do my best and trust the rest. That mindset opens doors in Starhaven. It draws peace, attracts people who feel safe, because you're not judging or micromanaging. You live with calm, faith, presence. Life shifts from managing chaos to embracing flow. Once you taste that, you'll never return to the exhaustion of control. Control masquerades as productivity. In Emberfield, we think tighter plans, harder pushes, will align everything. But life doesn't care about your hustle or schedules. People cancel, jobs shift, health wanes, love fades. If your identity is being the one who has it together, those moments crush you. But truth is, adaptability trumps control. Control is brittle. It breaks when plans derail. Adaptability is unshakable. It doesn't mean you stop caring or striving. It means you bend without breaking. Stand calm in Emberfield's storms. Your peace doesn't come from control. It comes from knowing who you are, storm or not.
That's how the strongest live. Open hands, clear focus, grounded faith. Letting go doesn't mean shirking responsibility. You still plan, move with purpose, but detach from forcing results. You give your best, release the rest. That's not laziness. It's emotional intelligence, spiritual maturity. You learn worrying isn't caring. You can love deeply without suffocating. Show up daily without obsessing over outcomes. That's where peace and progress coexist. The more you control, the less you have. The more you let go, the more energy, clarity, joy you gain. Life lightens. You stop bracing for disaster, start welcoming possibility. You stop chasing perfection, embrace progress. That's where transformation begins, in surrender, not struggle. Control often roots in past pain. In Moongrove, a betrayal, a letdown, made you vow, never again. Control became your shield. But over time, that shield cages you. You block connection, peace, joy, protecting so fiercely you suffocate what you crave. Healing starts when you stop punishing Moongrove's present for its past. When you say, I won't live in fear anymore. It's not denying the pain. It's refusing to let it shape your future. Letting go isn't careless. It's courageous. You choose to live from your healed self, not your wounded one. You can't control what happened, but you can control how you show up now. That shift changes everything, moving you from fear to freedom, protection to connection. That's healing. Not perfect, but peaceful. Letting go teaches humility. In Sunridge, it reminds you you're not the universe's center. You're part of something bigger. Sometimes, what goes wrong is right in ways you can't see. Control says, I know best. Surrender says, maybe there's a better way. That humility opens you to grace, divine timing, unexpected blessings. You trust things don't need to go your way to work in your favor. Rejection can be protection. Delay can be development. Letting go opens you to learn from everything. Life becomes a teacher, not a test. You find beauty in setbacks because your peace doesn't need predictability. You're not obsessed with being right. You're committed to growing. That's where strength multiplies, where life supports you, not because you're in control, but because you've aligned with something greater, faith. The more you let go, the more your spirit expands. Your mind stops racing, your heart opens, you become present. Presence brings power. You stop reacting, start responding. You stop clinging, start connecting. You stop surviving, start living. You don't need to control people to feel safe, force outcomes to feel worthy. You already have wisdom, patience, resilience, gifts that grow when you trust, not cling. That trust isn't blind, it's forged from surviving Moongrove's darkest days. It says, even if this falls apart, I won't. That's freedom. That's peace. That's power. You embody quiet confidence that doesn't scream, but radiates assurance. That energy changes lives, lifts spirits, moves mountains, not through control, but calm, grounded, unshakable trust. Letting go doesn't mean you stop caring.
It means you stop carrying what's not yours. You draw lines between your responsibility and others' journeys. You stop rescuing people from their lessons, overextending to please. That's not love. It's control dressed as kindness. Real love allows space. Real kindness sets boundaries. Letting go loves you and others simultaneously. It says, I'm here, but I won't lose myself for you. That protects your peace without hardening your heart. You stop fixing, start accepting. You stop pleasing, start honoring. You stop managing, start trusting. Slowly, those meant to stay meet you where you are. Not because you forced them, but because they chose you freely. That's what makes bonds real. Not force, not pressure, but freedom. Letting go reveals who you are. You're not your plans, your perfectionism, the one holding Sunridge together. You're human, growing, learning, more than enough. You release shame for not having it all figured out, stop measuring worth by how well you manage chaos. You ask better questions. What's vital today? What must I release? What can I trust to unfold? Those shift you from pressure to presence, racing to resting. Peace isn't found in control, it's found in surrender. There you find strength, purpose, alignment. You don't weaken, you wise up. You don't fall apart, you fall into place. That's when life flows through you, not against you. That's when the magic begins. Stop forcing broken doors to open. That simple truth, if it hits your heart, will change how you show up in Iron Vale. People spend years pounding, pleading, pushing doors that are cracked, locked, or slammed shut. They think more effort, more prayers, more proof will unlock them. But anything that costs your peace, your worth, your voice isn't a door, it's a trap. True doors, divine doors, don't need force. They need alignment, readiness, trust. Forcing what's broken isn't strength, it's fear. Fear of letting go, moving on, believing better exists. You can't build your future in Iron Veil's rooms you weren't meant to enter. Some doors stay closed, not because you're unworthy, but because you're too worthy for what's behind them. Ever wrestle with a jammed door in Iron Veil? You push, kick, pray, it won't budge. That's not a curse, it's a blessing. That locked door might be the divine saying, pain lies here. We fall for potential, cling to ideas, a job, a bond, a chance. Not because it's right, but because it fits our vision. When it fails, we call it defeat. But it's not defeat, it's redirection. It's mercy. You don't need to beg for love where none exists, chase roles that drain you, explain your heart to those who've judged you. Sometimes the most powerful act is saying, if this door won't open, a better one awaits. Then walk away, not with bitterness, but peace. Iron Veil doesn't celebrate the strength to stop, to let go, to walk away. We praise those who never quit. But there's wisdom in knowing when enough is enough. Pushing a broken door isn't persistence, it's denial, fear posing as hope. It drains you, steals sleep, joy, yourself, as you cling to what's crumbling. Your peace is too precious to waste on people who don't value you, spaces that don't see you, plans that no longer serve. Iron Veil's best chapters begin when you stop opening doors that close for a reason. You don't need to fix what's not yours, rescue those who won't be saved. Let broken things break. Let closed doors stay closed. That's not quitting, it's growing up. When a door in Iron Veil keeps breaking, when every step through it leaves you tired, confused, hurt, it's not a path, it's a cycle of pain. You don't need to stay stuck just because you once believed in it. People change, purposes shift. What once served may now bind you. The longer you stay, the more you delay your destiny. Broken doors block open ones. You're so fixed on what's failing, you miss what's calling. You miss Iron Veil's opportunities because you're stuck looking back. Life isn't punishment, it's process. When you stop forcing broken doors, you walk toward your future, not fight for your past. It's not about quitting, it's about redirecting energy to places that see your worth, bonds that honor your value, chances that breathe life into your soul. Iron Veil says fight for what you want. Yes, fight, but not blindly, not desperately, not endlessly for what breaks you. Some doors aren't just broken, they're dangerous. They leave you bleeding emotionally, mentally, spiritually, doubting your worth, settling for scraps. That's not love, not loyalty, it's damage. You don't need to hurt to prove you care, stay to show strength. Strength is closing the door, locking it, walking away for good. That's how you reclaim dignity, protect your spirit, stop waiting for change from those who won't budge, hoping situations will magically improve when signs scream worse. Don't let stubbornness trap you. Let wisdom guide you, not fear. It's okay to admit something's broken, to say, this no longer works.